Hometown Discoveries Las Vegas is a local weekend morning show featuring the people, events, and companies that make Las Vegas the place to live, shop, work, and play. Welcome to Hometown Discoveries Las Vegas. We're on the Mid-Century Modern Homes bus tour today, and we'll be meeting with several guests along with our tour guide, Jack LeVine. Later in today's program, you'll hear from Linda Ward, owner of Red Rock Mortgage.
So instead of calling someone on a 1-800 number, why not come in and sit in my office right here at 810 South Durango?
Richard Hanseen, our wealth advisor, and Joe Marsh with CrossFit Las Vegas. Now let's meet Jack LeVine, who will tell us about some of the homes on the tour, including his own. Jack, thank you so much for this bus tour today. You're so knowledgeable about Las Vegas and all things 50s and 60s in architecture, obviously.
Well, it's what I do every day. I'm a realtor. I specialize in the historic neighborhoods and the mid-century modern architecture of Las Vegas.
And so how is Las Vegas different from other cities?
In that it was a very small city when the 50s and 60s mid-century architecture, we call it mid-century now, but of course it was just modern then. Now we have to differentiate it and call it mid-century modern architecture. But all of it was built very close into the center hub of downtown because it was a very small city. And as the city grew, you can actually watch the concentric circles of the architecture change from the 50s and 60s to the 70s is different, the 80s is different, the 90s and 2000s is extremely different from what we're in right now.
And one of the things that I thought was unique in our conversation was the location of those different eras of home building in relation to a downtown, a city downtown.
Right, where I came from, Columbus, Ohio, the 50s and 60s ring was 20 miles out of downtown because it was already a town of 2 million people, the size of Las Vegas, when I was a little boy. And so that's where the new construction was all the way around the city, 20 miles from downtown. But here in Las Vegas, it's all very centralized and very concentrated right in the urban core. And of course, the urban core of Las Vegas is going through a marvelous renewal that coincidentally coincides with the huge mid-century modern restoration movement that's going on around the world.
That's wonderful. And so you are working with a lot of homeowners who are restoring their homes here.
Right, I consult with a lot. We talk, we try to get people to preserve whatever is original that's still left in the house. Many of these houses, the wonderful 50s and 60s, the colorful yellows and pinks and blues and bathrooms and kitchens have been torn out and removed. We try to get them to save whatever's left and work around that. It's really hard to put those back in and recreate them as if they were new, but like they were. But if they're still there, like they are in my house, you really need to preserve them and work around them.
And so how much work did you have to, and by the way, your house is lovely, how much work have you had to do to restore your own home here?
Well, mostly it was colors and undoing lots of bad paint jobs and things like that. But we have replumbed the house and re-electrified the house, but I've been in the house a long time. But we have done the infrastructure was done first, and the decorating, of course, came later. And that's what I teach, is to take care of the bones and the functionality of the house before you start worrying about your decorating. Although right now I am encouraging people to, if they get a house that's been abandoned for a couple of years, like so many are now, is to do your neighborhood a favor and do the front yard first.
That's great advice. And so if someone was interested in acquiring or learning more about these mid-century modern homes, you specialize in that in your real estate business.
Right, and I'm the only one in town that does do that. And I'm easy to find. You can Google any of those keywords like mid-century modern in Las Vegas and Google will find me. But I blog at veryvintagevegas.com, and but I'm very easy to look. I'm very easy to be found.
So what's the best way to reach you? Is it by phone?
Oh, by phone, for sure. 702-378-7055 or Jack at unclejack.com.
I love your email address.
Oh, thank you.
We'll be talking to you more here on the tour, hearing more from you about some of the homes. Thank you so much.
If my voice holds up, you'll hear plenty more.
Thanks, Jack. We're here with Diana Della Iacono on the Mid-Century Modern Bus Tour. We caught up with her and have a few questions. Tell us, Diana, about Area West showroom that you handle.
Yeah, Area West has been in town for about 13 years. It's a wholesale showroom to the trade. We sell to interior designers and upholstery people, architects, builders. We're probably the largest showroom as far as fabrics and wall covering here in Las Vegas. We try and bring the major fabric lines here, the Cravat and Schumacher. Anything you've seen in Architectural Digest, we probably have at the showroom.
And so do you have many people who come in looking to modernize their mid-century home?
We do. Lately, it's very big, and we have a couple of wall covering companies that have specialized in the 50s, so their books are all about the 50s and all the designs and the coloration from back then. So it was really exciting to get that in.
Any advice you have for someone who's looking to upgrade or modernize their home?
Well, definitely. Although we just sell to the trade, if they're working with a designer and a designer has never heard of us, they could tell their designer to come to Area West, or we do have designers that we could hook up with them. I can't sell to them, but we could recommend a designer for them, and designers that really would keep the price point down for them. I think customers that never work with a designer are afraid to work with a designer, and they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be.
I do think that's probably one of the biggest misconceptions about that people have, or the fears that they have, is that suddenly their remodel project is going to be unaffordable for them if they bring a designer in.
I know, and we try to educate the public, because the mistakes they make cost them more money than if they start with a designer who's good and who's affordable and will work within their budget, because all designers will work within your budget. There's no need to go over your budget.
That's great. Thank you so much for stopping and chatting with us here in this great home. We're in Jack LeVine's home on this tour.
It's been a lot of fun, but I've been on the top of the bus, so that's why I'm a little windblown.
Well, you look fabulous. Thanks. Want more hometown discoveries? Check out our Facebook page and hit the like button. We'll be posting behind-the-scenes photos and comments that we want to share with you.
Hi, I'm Linda Ward with Red Rock Mortgage. A lot of people have called me and have said, why should I use you? You're a mortgage broker. I can go to my bank and get my mortgage loan. And they're absolutely correct. But how do you know by going to your bank that you're going to get the best deal? Your bank is only going to offer you their product, their rate, and nothing else. As a mortgage broker, I have contracts with many different banks and many different large mortgage banks. I have the ability to shop your interest rate and to shop your program, giving you the best possible opportunity out there and the best savings for you. Other people think mortgage brokers cost a lot more than their local bank. As well, that's not true. The new law, the Dodd-Frank bill, put into place that there is what's called loan officer compensation. Our compensation is set so the lender has the ability to pay us our fee. Your bank can charge you what they want, which would include application fees, processing fees, and any of the other fees that a bank would normally charge. Mortgage brokers, because we're usually small mom and pop operations in the community where we can reach down in the grassroots and really deal with the clients and know exactly what the clients need to get into their home. Also, another advantage of going with a mortgage broker is the speed at which we can close a loan. With a bank, you're usually just a number, and the order taker on the other end of that application doesn't know you, usually doesn't live in our community, doesn't know anything about your zip code or anything about your circumstance. They're an order taker on the other end of that 1-800 number. So instead of calling someone on a 1-800 number, why not come in and sit in my office right here at 810 South Durango? Let me do your loan application. I may even live in your own community that you're going to buy your home or refinance your home. So give me, Linda Ward at Red Rock Mortgage, a call when you are ready to refinance your home, either on the HARP refinance, which is a great program, or the FHA refinance, or any refinance. Or if you're looking to purchase a home, give me a call. Red Rock Mortgage, 320-9595.
Previously on Hometown Discoveries, you heard from Branch Whitney, local author and hiking expert. You can see all our past programs on YouTube. You can even subscribe to our channel, youtube.com/Hometown Discoveries. Financial education, experience, and success measured only by his client satisfaction make Richard Hanseen the financial advisor worth meeting.
So we've kind of gotten to the end and we've discussed the financial planning process as we view it. And we view it, we give it names, we call it clarity, confidence, and comfort, or C-cubed. And we look at how do we start with clarifying your situation. We want to know about your goals and objectives. We don't want to talk about money. First of all, we need to know what's important to you. Do you race cars? Do you want to climb Mount Everest? Do you want to stay home and take care of children? Are you interested in the community or not? I want to know what drives you, not what drives me or what drives my other clients. That gives me an opportunity to look at where you want to go, and then we can begin to look at where you are. But the clarity piece is most important. You know, the problem is never the problem. Thinking clearly about the problem is the problem. And that's why we use the process that we do in the DOS questions. The very beginning is, if we're sitting here having this conversation 3 years from now, and you look back over that 3 years period, can you please tell me what has to have happened over that 3-year period for you to be happy with your progress? Then we go into confidence. Confidence is replacing questions with knowledge. How do you accumulate money? Where do you invest it? What are the tools and tactics? What kinds of processes do you use? Well, when we do that, we want to know, yes, we have to get into fact finders and numerical values. Well, we start with what you want to do. Then we measure what kind of asset structure and income structure you have, and how can we adjust it so that you can continue to accumulate the money you need to accumulate. The clarity piece will tell me what you need to accumulate. The confidence piece, or determining what your investment structure is going to look like and whether your risk management pieces are in place, will tell me where we are and what we need to do to get you to the next level. Once we have an understanding, once you have an understanding of the investment process, risk management tools, what's available in the financial markets, then we can go forward and develop that plan, implement that plan, and you can begin to watch it work. And trust me, when you see your plan work, now all of a sudden the scary feature is gone. You can see that you're making progress. And that comfort piece is your ability to sleep at night and enjoy your life while you're also accumulating wealth for the time that you retire. So I hope you'll give us a call. We really do enjoy helping clients and helping people understand the financial world. And we're available by appointment anytime you'd like to come in, and that's absolutely no money down. You can no commitment at all, but we'd love to meet with you. You never can tell. We might become friends, and you can never have too many friends.
As far as functional exercise is concerned, one of the more functional things you could do in any kind of a fitness environment will be to learn how to climb a climbing rope. The way we try to climb a rope in CrossFit is we try to put it as much into the legs as possible and taking the majority of it out of the upper body. So what Colby's going to do is he's going to get what's called a basic wrap. The rope will be on the inside of his knee and the outside of his dominant foot. And from there he reaches up as high as he can on the rope. And then what he'll do is he'll pinch the rope between his forefoot or the top foot and the bottom foot. And then watch as he draws his knees up towards his chest and then stands into the rope as he walks his hands up. That takes the majority of the movement out of the upper body, brings it into the lower body, a stronger, more powerful muscle group. And then sliding down is as easy as separating your feet just a little bit. If you separate them too fast, well, you fall. Nobody wants that. Leading into anything gymnastics, as far as the rings are concerned, two of the basic movements that we introduce on the gymnastics ring are the ring row and the push-up. Danny's going to get into the basic position for the ring row, in which her body is just about parallel to the floor. The ring's pretty much above her chest, and she's going to do her best to pull the ring from an extended elbow, a fully extended elbow, into her armpit, and then all the way back down. The coolest thing about this particular movement is as your range of motion begins to suffer, you can back up and change the amount of leverage you have to apply. In that, once again, when range of motion suffers, she just backs up until she can achieve full range of motion again. In keeping with gymnastics development, one thing that we can incorporate, there's a little more of an advanced movement on push-ups, putting them on the rings to make the push-up just a little bit more difficult. So Danny's going to be placing her hands inside the rings, which have been set up to just outside shoulder width for her. And then she'll guide her chest down so that her chest reaches just below her hands and she presses out, extending to a straight elbow, just like she would on a normal push-up. The reason this is slightly more difficult than the typical push-up, if you'll notice, her arms are a wee bit shaky as her hands try to not move around in 3 dimensions of space. So what we're going to have Colby do is a movement that we call wall ball, essentially just combining a front squat with a medicine ball toss. And the front squat is just a squat with something in front of you at its basic component. So Colby's going to hold onto the ball with one hand on either side of it, and he's going to reach for a full range of motion squat where his butt gets nice and low below parallel. He stands up very fast, throws the ball, and then he just takes it right back into his chest and guides it into another squat. We very much like wall ball for the pure and simple fact that it incorporates a squat into the movement, and as you do a higher and higher number of repetitions, it begins to become quite the cardiovascular workout, in that with all the muscle mass that he's moving up and down, you're consuming a ton of oxygen, and it takes a hell of a lot of effort to maintain some kind of output on the particular activity. So we're going to have Colby go through 5 wall ball shots in pretty rapid fire succession, and then he's going to show an exceedingly cool version of wall ball called twofers. That's 3, 4, and then just to make things interesting, he's going to go right into a twofer, where he squats down in between the med ball throw, and then he has to make it back up before the ball smashes him in the face.
What's your favorite Las Vegas discovery? Follow us and tweet with us at Hometown D. We're here with Caroline Muse-Grant, the organizer of today's bus tour. Caroline, tell us a little bit about, first of all, about yourself.
Well, I'm happy to say that I'm one of the co-founders of ADAS, which is the Architectural and Decorative Arts Society. We started 3 years ago doing this mid-century modern weekend, and we wanted to celebrate this awesome architecture and lifestyle, one that I may say a lot of people in Las Vegas don't know we have. The first time we mentioned it, we said mid-century, and people said, oh, we don't have any mid-century here in Las Vegas, but we have tons of beautiful neighborhoods. So we wanted to emphasize that and showcase some homeowners and houses and furnishings. And so this is our 3rd year. We do 2 other functions, and on Sunday we wrap up with a mid-century modern bus tour. And we rent a double-decker bus. We're gone for 4 hours. We tour all of these mid-century neighborhoods, and we go into 3 to 4, sometimes 5 houses on the tour.
And now we're in the first house on the tour, and it is pretty amazing.
It is amazing to see what homeowners have done, how they've recaptured these homes, just brought them back to life from what they were when they were built in the mid-50s and early 60s. This house is a perfect example. It's beautifully restored. The colors are fabulous. And the owners obviously love the lifestyle. So it's just fun, and it's awesome that they invite us to come in and see them.
And so if somebody wanted to get in touch with the society, how would they do that if they wanted to get involved?
Well, we have a website. It's www.adas-lv.com. They're welcome to do that. They can contact me directly at creativemuse@cox.net. We'd love to hear from them.
Okay, so we're going to take a little tour of the house here, and one of the things that I noticed is that you had a bottle of Coca-Cola and a Twinkie in your hand.
Twinkie and the candy corn also. So the owner was very gracious and gave us a lot of treats to fit the style and the year.
That's perfect. We can't wait to see more of the homes. Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you, Debbie.
Joanne Lucia shows a comfortable design style.
Now this is our last design element that we have in the showroom.
Okay.
We call this contemporary. It is really clean lines. We happen to have a fabulous leather sofa and matching chair. It's extremely comfortable. It's very adaptable for a lot of different people, men and women both. This happens to be ribboned mahogany round table it's a gorgeous round table. I love it.
I think this is what we're going to end up buying.
You think so? Okay.
I definitely
well,
think
then
this is
let
what
me
we're
show
gonna
you a
buy.
couple of other parts, just in case.
Okay.
We have this element on the back wall, which I love. It's actually a combination of 9 pieces. So you can create this as a wall piece as it is, using the 9. You could create it individually and stagger them. You can have a lot of fun with them.
I like that.
I like also the glass lamps because they're oversized, giving it a little bit of punch,
Right.
which is good.
Right.
Right over here we have again a contemporary version of these are actually slipper chairs is what they are, and the 3 pieces that are in front are different stones. So they call them drink tables because they're not a big, huge cocktail table, but they give a person a place to put a glass of wine.
And the size of my son's condo, that would be perfect.
Could be very, very adaptable, yes.
I think I really like that couch better than that one
Okay.
for him.
Okay.
Given it's a son.
Sure, sure.
And that would be much better
Yeah.
situation. And I love these little tables, and I like this.
And what we also might look at is we do have a small dining area in that particular condo, and we want having a glass top, which is great because you get a bigger space, volume, and it doesn't take up so much eye space. Those particular chairs that we have over there happen to be in white, but they could be in black, so they change the entire complexion of the chair. And we would redo the seats because they're very basic.
I think black would be a much better choice for a boy.
I think it would be fabulous.
A young man.
And put an animal on or cowhide or something like that. Give it a little bit of gusto.
I like that. I like that a lot.
And one of the things we were talking about, and I was seeing on the floor plan, we have a small bedroom. Well, enough to take a queen-size bed, which is fine, certainly. What might be interesting, because we have a limited space, we have a pair of these, which I happen to like very, very well. They have, they're in black, which is nice. They're a good scale so that you have enough room to put a lamp, a clock radio, a telephone, and what have you. And it does have a drawer space, and it does have opening storage. I think that'll give him enough warmth as far as table lamps are concerned. We don't get warmth from recessed lights, but we do get them from table lamps, floor lamps, and things like that.
I like that. Why don't we go to your office and sit down and talk about what the prices would be?
Let's do that.
I'm happy. I like this.
I'm happy too. If you'd like to have a little fun browsing in the showroom, Just stop by so we can help you create the right look for your home.
If you have a question for one of our experts, you can contact us on our website at hometowndiscoveries.com. We're here on the Mid-Century Modern Bus Tour, and I met the Vice President of WEMA, Ann Parente, and I'd like to introduce you to her. Ann, tell us about yourself.
Hi. Well, I joined an organization early in the year that we just firmed up with a gal by the name of Sandy Castell, who's the founder, and she had an idea. I liked her idea. It was very similar to what I was already doing. And I said, gee, how can I help? So I know a lot of designers in town and architects and a lot of that type of situation. So we've been doing a lot of collaborating with people like With It this year and ADAS and a few others, to where we go in and we provide entertainment at no charge, just to give a little recognition to the organization WEMA. WEMA actually mentioned is called Women in Music and Arts, although we do have men in our organization too, and we strive to give scholarships to students in the arts, of all arts, including theatrical, musical, visual, and the arts about, if it's an art, we do it. Let's put it that way. We do healing arts, all of that. Anyway, we started in January. We've had 32 events so far this year, and our goal is to raise enough scholarship dollars to award some worthy students next May. So that's kind of what we do for now, anyway.
And so how many members do you have of WEMA?
We have well over 100 now. We also have a radio show called WEMA Radio, and we have a website up. And we just finished doing the sock hop for ADAS on Friday night. That was huge fun. We had several performers perform with that, and a great band, and some celebrity show-ups, like an Elvis showed up, and we had a gal that did Aretha, and we had a lot of fun. It was lots of fun.
I heard it was a great time. You're being modest. I heard you did a great sultry number yourself.
Well, it was so loud that some people couldn't hear me, but I try. Okay, so.
Well, thanks for chatting with us here on the tour.
Thank you for having me. Thanks.
And the house on the left is the Debbie Reynolds house, is often referred to. This house on the left was originally owned by the boxer Joe Louis, was bought by Debbie Reynolds. Eventually it went to her son Todd Fisher. Todd sold it to my friends Ed and Marlon. Then it went back to the bank. Then it went to these people who have done these colors and put the house back together. It's under contract right now at $360,000 on the golf course.
Thank you for joining us. This is our final episode of Hometown Discoveries Las Vegas for 2012. We've had so much fun bringing you new discoveries every week. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter to find out when next season's episodes will air in 2013. Have a wonderful holiday season, and we look forward to seeing you in 2013.